On the hardwood, LeBron James unleashes his unmatched athleticism and fierce determination, making him a force to be reckoned with. But how would his physicality fare in the UFC? Would he become the next UFC undisputed champion? In this video, we'll tell you which NBA players would excel as mixed martial artists. Number 7. Robert Williams III. Isn't it intriguing how the heavyweight division is currently stacked with talent, especially with Jon Jones reigning supreme at the top? However, I've been thinking about this young prospect named Robert Williams III, and I wonder if he could make a significant impact in the future. Williams possesses some remarkable physical attributes, standing tall at 6'9", but surprisingly lean at 237 pounds. But here's the kicker, his wingspan stretches an incredible 7 foot 6 inches. With all that potential, being only 24 years old, Williams could have his prime fighting years ahead of him. Yet, there's always a catch, right? In this case, it seems like the biggest obstacle for Williams might be himself. He has struggled with off-court issues, particularly when prioritizing basketball and punctuality. And that's where things get tricky, because reliability and dedication are vital in training and showing up for fights. It's a shame when personal challenges can hinder someone's talent. Number 6. Obi Toppin. Have you ever seen Obi-Wan Kenobi fight? This young man's speed is truly off the charts, and few NBA players can keep up with him. Even more impressive is that he is only 22 years old, but already has the body of a grown man. Toppin has the body to stand his ground. He is 6 foot 9 inches tall and weighs only 220 pounds. Also, let's not forget the fact that his reach is a massive 7 foot 2 inches. Just think how far he could reach, farther than his opponents in the fight. Because of that, he could be a real force to be reckoned with. If Toppin were to start fighting, he might need to gain some weight so that he wouldn't get beat by the bigger guys in the heavyweight class. But now things are getting more interesting. Toppin has a lot of energy, which could be a problem for heavyweights like Derek Lewis, who tend to get tired early in fights. If he can stay away from the big players and use his speed and stamina to his advantage, he could surprise many people. It's all about finding the right place to use his reach edge and take advantage of his opponent's weaknesses. Number 5. Isaiah Stewart. You won't believe what happened to Isaiah Stewart when he played against LeBron James. Stewart took a big hit to the face, making him bleed a lot. But guess what? He didn't give in. He tried over and over again to charge back into the fight and throw bombs. What a tough and resilient person. In the UFC, if there's one thing you need, it's the ability to take a hit and keep going. And Stewart has shown that he has that ability. Interestingly, Stewart's background gives him a good start in combat sports. He grew up fighting and playing soccer before he started playing basketball, so he has fought before, even if on a smaller scale. His father taught him to work hard from a young age, which could help him in any physical task. Stewart's size is another thing that works in his favor. At 250 pounds, he's got enough weight to fight against the big giants. His wingspan is a fantastic 7 foot 4 inches. Can you picture how that will help him in the octagon? It's amazing. Stewart could be a real force in the UFC because he can take abuse, has fought before, has a good work ethic, and is physically strong. It's exciting to think about what he can do if he tries mixed martial arts. Number 4. Nikola Jokic. Have you noticed that there are more and more fighters from Eastern Europe in the UFC these days? It's been quite a thing. And now we're thinking about Nikola Jokic, the Serbian star and current NBA MVP, joining the UFC. Can you imagine? One thing that makes Jokic stand out is that he is unafraid of conflicts. He never gives up on the basketball floor and does his best when things get tough. This way of thinking could work quickly in mixed martial arts. I mean, picture him going head-to-head with opponents in the light heavyweight division. What a problem he would be. Jokic's physical appearance isn't anything to laugh at. Even if you don't like how tough he is mentally, he is commanding and big enough to make a big impression. Thinking about him using his strength and speed in a cage is mind-boggling. It's interesting how players from different sports can have skills and traits that would make them strong fighters in the UFC. And Nikola Jokic is one of those people, with his aggressive attitude, tough personality, and big body. Number 3. Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis is a basketball player that people in Milwaukee love. He is known for his aggressive playstyle and never-ending determination on the court. But did you know that he also desires to get into actual fights? During his time with the Chicago Bulls, and his friend Nikola Morodi got into a heated argument during practice. This was a memorable event, and I'll tell you that Portis threw a punch so hard that Morodi went to the hospital with a headache and several broken bones in his face. It was a stark reminder of how powerful Portis' hands are. I don't like killing, but this shows how good Portis can be in combat sports. Think about what would happen if he used all that power and anger in a controlled setting like the UFC. If he got the proper training and direction, Portis could be a powerful force to be reckoned with. It's interesting to think about how players from different sports can switch to mixed martial arts and do well there. Portis' aggressive personality, punching power, and proper training could make him a dangerous opponent in the cage. Number 2. Patrick Beverley. Pat Bev has been a pest in the league for years, getting in players' heads for years. This kind of toughness would be a great asset in the UFC. Imagine Beverley entering the octagon and using his skills to upset people. He could easily throw them off and make money off their anger. A mental edge can make a big difference in a fight. But here's the real kicker. Beverley is not afraid of anyone. Seriously, you have to watch those videos that are several minutes long and show Beverley getting ready to fight. No matter who you are, he's not going to back down. Look at the fights he's had with Jonas Valanciunas earlier this season. This guy has that dog in him and isn't afraid of anything. Beverley would be an exciting addition to the UFC because of his instincts and relentless drive. He could be a force to be reckoned with in the octagon because he is tough and can get inside the heads of his opponents. It's incredible to think about what could happen if he ever tried to fight professionally. Number 1. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Could it be anyone at number 1 besides Giannis? The guy is an absolute unit, seemingly like he was built in a lab. With his height, explosiveness, and huge wingspan, it's hard to miss him. Think about it. Giannis has one of the longest wingspans in NBA history. With his reach, he would be able to keep fighters in range and just pick them apart, like John Jones or Israel Adesanya, but on steroids. Not to mention, in recent years, he's bulked up to a whopping 243 pounds. He would instantly be a contender for the UFC Heavyweight Championship. Giannis Antetokounmpo's body makes him a great UFC fighter on his own. But can you imagine what he would be like if you combined his physical skills with his work ethic? Giannis is a firm believer in the Mamba mentality, and his success in his career so far reflects that. But for now, UFC fighters can rest easy knowing Giannis isn't going to be fighting anytime soon. From the court to the octagon, these NBA players possess the potential to make a remarkable transition. With their unique skills, tenacity, and physical attributes, they could truly impact the world of UFC. So that's all for today's video. If you liked this video, click the like and the bell buttons. We'll have another video on NBA players for you soon. Take care until then.